Hey.
Good
Welcome
evening.
Back after a month hiatus from the show. It's good to be back.
Hello.
Hello, Clarice.
What's up, guys?
Good evening.
Top of the morning to you.
We got a pretty cool album tonight. Southern Harmony and Musical Companion from the Black Crows. This selection was brought to us via the Wheel of Names by Comic Burrito. I reached out to him, and he's anticipating the package, and which I haven't sent out yet. Be Monday, but do you guys get to listen to this album?
Yes.
Yeah.
Too much?
Well, a few times.
Yeah, a few times.
And that was today.
Yeah.
I heard it like a week
Kind of
ago
like
and today.
procrastinated, to like the deadline,
Yeah.
I do that every week.
I kind of do too, but I like doing it that way because it's fresh.
It's fresh, right?
Yeah.
I read the article that you sent out. I read most of it. I didn't finish it. My phone was giving me problems with it.
I tried to go back and read the Rolling Stone one, and it's like, you guys subscribe. I'm like, no.
Have you guys? You guys hadn't heard this before, right?
No, I haven't.
Nope, this was new for me.
Okay.
So I had heard some of their other songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one song on this, Thorn in My Pride,
Mm-hmm.
I had heard. But other than that, I think it was
I've
stuff
heard-
off of Shake Your Moneymakers.
Yeah, I've heard Remedy off this album. That's the only thing that I've heard.
I could have sworn, man. I heard the album and I was like, isn't it? Man, I could have sworn She Talks to Angels was on this album, but it wasn't. I always thought it was.
That's on the album before this.
Right.
Yeah.
Which that, right off the bat, that surprised me that album isn't on this list, because to me, I would assume that album's a little better than.
Well, and this was one of the alternate selections too.
Okay.
Because his Burrito's number landed on the Doors, and obviously we'd already set up to do that. And, so I went and I marked off and found the corresponding one, and this was it. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The Black Crows are just a fun band.
I agree.
I mean, they're just pure Southern rock without, I don't know if it's what they grew up around and what they grew up listening to. All that stuff incorporated it. They're just a fun band. Everything which isn't much, but everything that I've heard from them just, shines through.
I can always honestly say that I appreciate them more now than when they were in their prime when I was younger,
Yeah.
I think I appreciate them less.
Well, you probably were into them back then, yeah?
Maybe. I really listened to this album a lot. I had this album. I listened to a lot back in the day when it first came out. And I hadn't heard it in 25 years, 30 years. And I don't know if I like it as much as I did back then.
See, back then I was strictly like listening to like metal and all that death metal and all this other stuff, so I wasn't necessarily ears open to them, but I do remember watching their videos all the time on MTV.
Remedy was like on Remedy was in heavy rotation on MTV.
Yeah. That and Hot to Handle, man. I remember, that video was playing all the time.
Yeah.
And She Talks to Angels.
Yep.
All the time.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah. She Talks to Angels.
And
Massive.
you get burnt out on some of those few songs, and it's just back then, next you just click the channel, whatever. But listening to this album with fresh ears, listening to songs I never heard of, like I said, except for Remedy, I've heard that one before, but it was actually, I enjoyed the album, but there really wasn't anything that was magical about it to me.
Like I said, I loved it back in the day,
Yeah.
and I agree with you now with what you just said.
But he said it best earlier this evening when we were talking about it, and it's just one of those one of those albums that you can put, or bands, should I say, you can just put on and chill.
Yeah.
Drink to, you can throw it on like, party music too,
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun music, like you said, Donnie. It's real fun. It's catchy. It's upbeat. And the slow ones are good. And I dig it. I dig them. But there was just nothing magical about this album. But I appreciate it and I enjoyed it. Just
yeah, me too. I just don't know if I like it as much as I used to like it. I'm not saying it's bad or I didn't enjoy it. I just don't know if. I mean, I used to just, like you say, you just put it on and let it play. And I remember doing that back in the day. And I used to love Remedy, man. Love that song. But I don't know. For me, it hasn't. I don't know. I don't have the same feeling anymore. Let's get into the details, Donnie.
Well, I was going to say it. I agree with everything you guys just said. It's not, it's way up here or whatever. It's just, and that's how I listened to it. I just randomly, like if I was in the kitchen or something, I'd tell the device to play it, and it's such a long ass title.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the album's kind of long too, Some of the songs are real lengthy. They just seem like they kind of go on for a little too long.
It seems like they go into each other too, and it's like you don't know when one song ends and when the one song keeps on going, starts, and it just seems like it's just continuous.
That's my problem with the album, is a lot of it's really samey.
That's exactly mine.
There's not
it bleeds together.
There's not a lot of things that like keep it apart from each other.
That
not
sticks out, right?
Different.
Yeah, I agree totally with that. That's my sentiment as well. Especially at the end, it's just like end already. It's just you stop listening to like the last two songs. It's just like, dude, just end already, man. I don't want to hear
that. You hit that right on the head, man. By the time you're about 2 songs away from getting done, you're. I know I was. I'm like, I'm done.
I'm done. Yeah, that's good.
It could have easily been an 8-track album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but no pun intended. But I like the fact that they ended the album with a Bob Marley cover.
I didn't even know that was a Bob Marley cover.
Yeah, that's a Bob. Yeah.
I stopped listening.
Well, I mean,
I heard. I know I was listening, but I stopped listening. If you know what I mean.
Right. Because I don't know. There's kind of a melancholy to it ending that way. It's bleeds into there. I listened to the interview with them, and among other things, they had talked about going ahead and doing that cover and what it meant to them, and how Bob was a what did they say? Not a like a one-hit wonder or anything. He was a songwriter, and he did it time and time again, But
Kind of like Dylan.
Right.
You guys like Dylan?
I like a few songs.
Yeah, I agree.
I like a lot of his stuff.
Me too.
So the album title aside, which is named for a hymnal, post Civil War hymnal that was common in the South, I guess. They didn't really. It was just something that they had kind of picked at random, basically. It wasn't not necessarily a joke or making fun of things, but the album was released May 12th, 1992, so it's coming up on its 30th anniversary. That seems to be a theme lately. We've been hitting these these milestone anniversaries on albums, but after being recorded over a period of time at the end of 91 and early 92, Def American, which is of course is like Def Jam, Rick Rubin, and so forth. It was produced by George Draculius, who produced their first record. So it was somebody that they were familiar with. And it was the first album to bring Mark Ford into the band, who replaced the founding member Jeff Cease, and also the first to feature keyboardist Eddie Harsh. And that's something I did notice on listening to it, is that there was more presence as far as the keyboards in the songs, and I think it gave the album that little bit of extra that maybe they wouldn't have had otherwise. But Jeff Cease, they had fired. I got to find it here. He was Chris Robinson, the lead singer, had called him a subtraction to our music, and replaced him with Mark Ford from Burning Tree. Rich Robinson commented at the time that Mark made the songs warrant second guitars because he could actually play his instrument.
God, dude, could he just kick that guy any harder, bro?
Yeah, took a dump right on him.
Yeah, it's like, damn, get that boy some burn ointment.
God, bro, shit. Just kick him while he's down, dude.
Yeah.
Real quick, I watched a little bit of a behind the music on them. This is kind of a little off of this album, but Rick Rubin, man, they kind of screwed this band really hard, like really hard, kind of like what they did with the Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
And
as far as what?
Like they pretty much had control rights over everything because they had given them like a $5,000 cash advance or something like that. And they were saying that Rick Rubin didn't put his name on the record until the album sold 1 million records. Then they went back and reprinted the albums and put his name on as producer.
That's wrong, dude.
But because he didn't want nothing to do with it until it went to 1 million.
Until it was good, and he could put his name on it, right? And
what a douchebag.
Here's the thing. The thing about Rick Rubin is, I discovered this as I got older. He has a habit of that. If he doesn't see promise in something, he doesn't want his name tied to it until it proves itself. Which, he's protecting his brand, yeah, but that kind of speaks volume to everything that the Black Crowes were standing against.
For sure.
And they came right out and said all that in that interview. And I agree with him.
I never knew that. I am a Rick Rubin fan, but because he's a lot of the stuff that he's been associated with are albums that I really freaking love.
Absolutely.
But
And
knowing that,
I loved him for what he did with Johnny Cash before he died. The last 10 years of his life. Rejuvenated his career.
He's a corporate dick.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And he comes off as like a Zambali, it's like wow, I didn't know that. That kind of takes him down a notch for me.
Yeah, it took him. When I heard that he did it, I was kind of rubbed wrong hearing about the Beastie Boys and how they got done wrong buying with License to Ill.
Mm-hmm.
And then him pretty much doing the same thing with the Black Crowes on this album was like, damn.
Yeah. I mean, I still like the guy. It just, when you're a band, you gotta, Chris even said it in this interview in this article on Classic Rock, that they're not your friends.
Yeah.
They have 100 bands on their roster.
Yeah.
We only have one.
Yeah.
So, but there again, that everything that in the corporate world, and they weren't shy about making their feelings known either. And they said that they drove their road managers, their tour managers nuts, because they would go out and play a couple of the big hits, and then they would start playing stuff that the crowd wasn't necessarily familiar with.
I read that.
And they're like, just play the album.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we're not going to do that.
You gotta love it.
So after listening to this and reading all that and listening to the interview and stuff, I gained a whole new respect for them as a band,
Mm-hmm.
and them fighting for their own space.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's too many that, we call them sellouts.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about it earlier in the videos, watching some of the videos, and it's like, this is an aspect of it that's kind of pushes the sellout label. So they didn't, but they kind of teetered on the edge because they knew they had to sell a product.
Mm-hmm. Dude, it's money, bro. It's a business, dude.
That's what it is.
That's what it is, bro.
Yep.
They're probably, every band is their first album is probably the truest album, that they're ever going to put out. And after that, it's just what they're pressured to do and pressured to become. And very few of them have that, to do their own shit.
Yeah.
I keep
or to capture lightning in the bottle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all sellouts, dude. It's just to what degree and all that shit. But.
Yeah. But I've known the Robinson brothers have, they're brothers fight. But the Mark Ford's introduction into the band and that story I thought was not funny, but it was kind of funny.
Can you imagine being him witnessing all that shit?
You're like,
is that the one where
they won?
Yeah, is that the one where they pick them up at the airport, and before they can even leave the airport, they're already fighting?
Yeah,
about which direction they're going to take.
Right. And then he they, by the time he comes in, they've already changed the layout of the album that they had presented to him 2 weeks before. And then in the middle of it, they're talking and they start into a fight, and it's not just an argument. Chris picks up a freaking mic stand and hits Rich in the head with it.
Yeah.
And it just knock down, drag out, and insanity ensues.
And I'm walking into this.
Yeah. He's
what
like,
I'm going to be part of. Excuse me. He was just probably looking at everybody else, like saying, "Well, what's going on?"
Shit, dude, this is normal. according to the other two members of the bassist and the drummer, they were like, it was normal shit. What it is. They had their tiff and then picked up and got right back to it. Which that's not just being brothers, but that's most of the time being part of a band.
Yeah.
And there was something else in there that I was going to say.
Do you have the album sales? That's something I didn't read up on. I don't know how many album sales.
Oh, that's what it was. They talked about the journalists trying to paint them as the new Davies brothers. The Davies being Dave and Ray Davies from the Kinks.
The Kinks?
Yeah. And we know they fought like cats and dogs. The sales figures on this
2 million.
Is it 2 million?
Yep. 2 times platinum.
Yep. 2 platinum, double platinum.
And it peaked at number 1.
Really?
It entered the charts at number 1.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sure that it was still riding the wave from Shake Your Moneymaker.
It had to have been, because
big album.
There was just nothing on this to me that seemed that it should have been a number 1 album. I mean, Remedy's a good song, but I don't think it's good enough to be a number 1 spot.
Right.
Yeah.
And they had even kind of said that as far as the amount that Shake Your Moneymaker had done. Let me look at that. Excuse me. See, Shake Your Moneymaker was 5 times platinum.
Okay.
So, and it was a top 5 album too. So both the first two, I mean, brilliant start to their career.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it, like you said, Jim, it's not, I don't know if I want to say it's not pop friendly.
Just doesn't have a ton of hits, man.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I told my wife. We were like 4 songs in the album. I'm like, there's just nothing really catching me with this album.
Yeah.
And if you hear, to me, if you hear a song and you automatically want to hear that song again once it's over, then that's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing on this that it's like, wow, that's a good song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But as a whole, if you put it on to have a few beers with some friends and stuff like that, it's great.
Yeah. It's good hangout music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of have, like you, Raul, about another album one that we still haven't done yet, which is the Sex Pistols.
Mm-hmm.
I dug it out and I was listening to it, and it's like, this doesn't have the same punch that it did
when you're younger.
I first heard it 20 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't heard it in a while, but I imagine that's what's going to happen to me as well.
Yeah. Now, London Calling, on the other hand, still got it.
Absolutely.
Still got it.
You know what we got to do, though, with when we do the Sex Pistols, we got to watch Sid and Nancy as an accompaniment.
Hell yeah.
We got to watch Sid and Nancy, and we got to read on Nevermind the Bull and hear Nevermind the Bullocks in that week or 2 weeks in between. it might give it a whole different perspective.
That sounds good.
And that's how I saw Sid and Nancy, and then it was like I gotta look up this music, and then it was like you get more of the total, what's going on.
I've never seen Sid and Nancy.
Oh my God!
Really?
But what spurred me to pick the record up was, other than various lists that it's on,
Right.
Was the behind the music on the Sex Pistols.
Okay.
And the whole, so I kind of knew the story about Sid and all that shit, but
speaking of that, I know it has nothing to do with Black Crows, but if you ever get a chance to listen to the Misfits, is it "Don't Go in the Bathroom"? Is that the name of the song? Can't remember the name. "Don't Go in the Bathroom." Glenn Danzig wrote that about Sid and Nancy, where they go into the bathroom and that's when she gets stabbed.
Okay. Don't go into the bathroom. I gotta look that up.
I'm pretty sure I don't have my phone on me.
You gotta watch that movie too. It's
I've
Gary
seen the
Oldman.
movie. Yeah, I've seen the movie. It's a great movie.
It's a great movie, dude. Gary Oldman. It's like, dude, he becomes Sid, dude. It's like
Gary Oldman's phenomenal, man.
He's an amazing actor, bro.
He blew me away when I saw him as freaking Winston Churchill in the movie Churchill.
Yes.
Didn't even look like him.
No, dude. But in the man, we're going all over the place now. Have you seen The Professional?
No.
Oh my God, you got to watch that, man.
Is that the one about the sniper?
Yep.
The hitman or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Professional.
Yeah, with the girl.
Yes, Matilda.
Yep, I saw that a long time ago.
Bro, watch that again, dude. He's incredible in that movie, bro. So good. Okay, back to who were you talking about?
The Black Crows.
Oh, Little Bo, what do you think about this album? Did you like it?
I enjoyed it. I don't know. Nothing really grabbed me about it.
All right, so
it's good. I like it.
It's not a bad album. It's not.
It's a smooth album that you can just
chill to,
sit and chill to, or jam out. I mean, there's a couple rockers on there, like Sting Me is a great opener. I thought Sting Me was
for sure
a definitely good way to open up. What I thought was interesting is they recorded 24 track. That's the wrong spot. I think it was like 20 songs they had recorded during the sessions.
Okay.
Or 22. I don't know where it went. I remember reading that.
Hard.
If anything, this got him to hook up with Kate Hudson, right? Wasn't he married to Kate Hudson?
Who, Chris Robinson?
Yes.
So
I'm so stupid right now.
What?
The song is it's Horror Business.
Oh,
Misfits, Horror Business.
Oh, horror business.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That song was recorded on my birthday.
It makes total sense though.
Yeah,
it does.
I just didn't know that.
Psycho starts off Psycho 78.
Yep. That makes 100% sense now. I never heard that.
Yeah.
Something else I was gonna. Oh, they talked about the comparisons with the Stones, and how they felt. There's people. They make those comparisons just to put you in a certain group. It fits. You can hear their influences.
Absolutely.
But this album, I think I read it and I agreed with it that it's an album that doesn't sound like it's from 1992.
No.
No.
It sounds like it was recorded in 74.
Yes.
You
When I
know,
heard it, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Hell, even if you see their videos, you think it's 1974. The bell bottoms and
Yeah.
skinny,
right.
long hair,
And I think to me a lot of that seemed intentional. That was just their shtick and how they felt and what they wanted to do. They talked about bands like Def Leppard spending 3 years working on an album, and Chris said if you can't do an album in 8 days, what are you even doing it for?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, 3 years, really, bro? 3
yeah.
years?
That's kind of a throwback to bands putting 2 and 3 albums out in a year.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
And
you,
think
you
about
gotta work for it. You know.
Yeah, and think about all the albums that were like you're saying. It sounds like it came out in the 70s. Because think about the albums that were coming out at this time. It was Nirvana. It was Pearl Jam. Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't know if you guys. Depeche Mode came out with Violator at this time, which was none of that sounds like this.
Yeah.
Or this doesn't sound like any of the music that was really hitting big. So it did have its niche, but it felt like it was out of time.
Yeah.
So,
But that was
it did kind of give it that rock and roll compared
Yeah.
to everything else that was coming out and popular.
Yes.
It gave it that more traditional rock and roll sound.
And I read that at the beginning of this article that was something that they were kind of against. It was kind of like the whole punk idea where, you know, they're not happy with the industry as it is now and the bands and music that's coming out. So they want to do their own thing.
They were probably rebelling more against the hair bands more than anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because all those other bands, those were showing the future. They weren't sounding like the hair bands.
Right.
Like it was just all the pushback. It was probably I guess it got started with Guns N' Roses. When they came out, it was like, oh shit, the next Rolling Stones. This doesn't, it's gritty and all this. And I guess they just took it like that. But they went. It's almost like a Southern album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so. Yeah, because it's real bluesy, real. Has some soul, you know. When Chris sings, dude, he has a lot of soul in his voice.
Yeah.
Phenomenal singer. I'd give him that, man. He's got a lot of soul and he sounds great. There was a few songs on this album. I was just listening to it. I'm like, man, he sounds a lot like Rod Stewart in some of these songs where his voice was a little raspy in certain parts. And
Or was it that this article uses his exact words, raspy howl.
Do you guys have a favorite song?
What's that?
Do you guys have a favorite song?
I'd say the first one. Sting Me, I'd say.
Yes, Sting Me's up there for me. Thorn, and if I had to say one of them caught me, it's Thorn in My Pride.
That's mine.
That's probably it.
That's mine.
That was good. I kind of, besides Remedy, I like Remedy and Sting. Bad Luck, Blue Eyes Goodbye. That real slow and sound like an emotional song, but I enjoyed that one just for the fact that I was just into the vibe of the soul, man. He was letting it go, man. It was good. On top of the thing, the past 2 weeks, man, I have been not listening to nothing but blues. So like, this was like a more upbeat version of what, because I've been listening to the old blues all past 2 weeks. You know, the Sonny Boy Williamson and the Howlin' Wolf and Muddy Waters, and so I'm into the soul now, man. I like that soul. I like to feel it.
Are you two little boat? How's it been around the house for the last 2 weeks?
It's been pretty
Well,
cool.
luckily for him, he ain't been really listening to it about
Okay.
one day. It's been at work. We've been jamming it at work.
Nice, dude. What did you say, boat? Little boat?
I don't mind it. I like it.
Good. That's cool that you can play that at work too.
Oh yeah. Man,
If
we
it
play
weren't
all
for
the
those
time.
early influences, we wouldn't have what we have today.
No kidding. And that's the best thing, man. You listen to those and bands like the Stones and Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. Those were their influences.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw a clip today and it was BB King and he pops a string in the mid-concert. You guys have seen that? And they just give him a string and he just starts stringing it there. You know, and then he's just stringing it like nothing. He's still singing and stringing it. It's like, dude, what the hell, bro? And then and then you see him and he just starts jamming.
I've seen a similar one this past week with Stevie Ray Vaughan.
I was just gonna say Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Thing?
Yep.
He wasn't changing the string, but he's sitting there singing, playing it with a broke string, and then like he kind of slides it off, and they slide another one on. He hooks the chord back in and never misses a beat.
Never miss a beat, bro.
Never
How
once.
cool is that, dude?
So seamless.
Another one that would do stuff like that on stage is Richie Havens. Now he didn't keep playing, but he kept the audience engaged.
And that's what BB King did when I saw it. He wasn't playing. He was, you see him stringing it up, but he's still singing, and the band is just like the band didn't miss a beat. It's like nobody freaked out. This is nothing. This is. Let's just keep going, guys. We're good, dude. And they
man.
Jamming.
Did that a lot, but when he tuned his guitars like mid-song,
it's crazy, dude.
I saw something like that with John Frusciante the other day. He broke a string, and he just adjusted in the middle of a solo. He adjusted. It's like, what?
Dude, I love John Frusciante.
Oh my god,
that's skill.
One more thing I wanted to say about the production on this. Chris talked about how they went into the studio and they had this great big freaking soundboard and all this immaculate equipment. And he's like, let me find it. I had it earlier.
We got to do the album cover too, man. We got to talk about the album cover.
I didn't even look anything up on the album. It seemed,
It seems pretty simple, right?
The album cover looks like it was taken in 1974.
Yeah. In a swamp or something, right?
It has that vibe. It's like they just picked a spot and they said, just do it here, Yeah,
the color palette, everything is 1974.
Honestly, I think this album probably would have worked better if it came out during 1974.
You are probably 100% right, dude.
And it wouldn't have stuck out of place at all.
No.
I don't think it really stuck out of place, but I don't know.
It'll probably be a classic. It's like everybody knows that album from that time.
Those are the ones that stand out, are the ones that are different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I give them that.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Says, I mixed Thorn in My Pride with our engineer, Brendan O'Brien, at the record plant, and I hated it. They had this huge board with digital computers and shit, which Brendan loves. Forget it. I went over to Hollywood Sound, got on the little Neve board, and hot mixed the whole rest of the album in one evening. What else do you need?
Yeah. Just take care of it, dude. Just do it.
The result was a record that sounded like a classic, albeit in 1974, not 92.
It would have been a hit in 74. I mean, a bigger hit.
Major hit.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they sound like the other bands, Bad Company.
Yeah.
Bits of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Exile,
Stones, you know.
Exile Stones. Yeah, I mean, which I was heavy into the early '70s. All those bands like that. A lot of the European rock bands in the early '70s too, and they would have fit perfectly in that group. But great record.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I loved it when I listened to it a lot when I was in 1991 or 19. I liked it, and I heard it a lot. I don't know, not into it as much anymore.
Here's the question though. Does it stand the test of time?
I think so. Well, I don't know. As somebody who'd never heard this album and is almost 30 years too late, to me it sounds good.
Hey, what's up, Bueller? Bueller's in town.
Bueller from the road, brother. What's going on?
Hope you're good.
But yeah, I think it does. Because there's nothing, I mean, besides it sounding like 74, there's nothing else that dates it to the 90s.
Right.
And I guess with them maybe going back, I mean, I don't know if that dates it itself, but I don't know.
Okay, you okay.
I think it does. I think it stands the test of time.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Because if you had a party right now, you'd be okay if that thing was on the radio.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this. In a month, are you going to, hey, little Bo, hey, let's put on the Black Crowes.
No, but I will say this. They have a time and a place.
Okay, that's fair. I'm not trying to knock them down because I do like it.
And I think this album has a time and a place because it's not a phenomenal album. To me, it's not a number one album. So if you wanted to listen to the Black Crowes, you're obviously in the mood to, or you have an event or a get together, or you just want to have a good time. Boom, perfect album.
Cool. Yeah. But you'll probably pick something else.
Probably.
Most likely.
I'd probably pick the first album before I'd pick this one.
Yeah.
If I were to pick the Black Crowes.
Or a mix of both albums.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a I guess I would consider myself somewhat of a casual fan. I've never bought any of their music. I never will.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't mind listening to them.
No, exactly. It's not something like, it's like, oh my God, this is horrible. It's not nowhere near that.
You know, and I don't put it on and say, oh God, this reminds me of Whitesnake, you know?
Yeah, no.
That's where I was going with that question, by the way.
It's not in that area, in that same level.
It's good.
It's up above it, right?
It's good, man. You can, you might even go to a sporting event and hear some Black Crowes on the.
Yes.
Little league, minor league.
Yes. Whitesnake is on the low end for
Little
us.
league.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So once again, I want to thank Comic Burrito for his contribution. Initially, The Doors' stellar album, but since we had already done it, I threw in the alternate into the wheel, which is this album. Great album, not something that would probably get listened to on a constant basis.
I wouldn't say a great album. I'd say a good album.
It's a good album. I agree.
Good album.
Check out Bueller's comment.
We were just talking about Dylan.
We were just talking about Dylan.
A little bit of Hootie.
Yeah. Dylan's great road music.
Yes.
Johnny's in the basement mixing up some medicine. Yeah.
Not bad, Bo. Not bad. Yeah.
Where's my record contract?
The one that Bueller posted this morning, about being on the road, like a rolling stone.
Blood on the Tracks, bro.
Yeah, Blood on the Tracks is great.
Amazing.
I like Hurricane. That song Hurricane's real good.
What was
the one from the Big Lebowski? And didn't he do one in the Big Lebowski?
Oh my God, dude.
Which one was
the opening?
Is it the opening or is the ending? It's the dream sequence, ain't it?
Yeah, where he's going to the bowling alley. With
the bowling. It's at the end. Oh my God, that's an amazing song, dude. I can't remember it now.
I can't remember.
I like Dylan, dude. I like Dylan a lot. I like Dylan a lot, dude.
Yeah, I can get behind him a lot more now as I'm older.
Yes, definitely. It's not something I liked when I was younger. I like it now as I'm
his songwriting though is amazing. You know, just I never really noticed it until other people was doing his songs that he wrote. That you actually hear like, damn, this dude could write some serious song.
Yeah.
Is it The Man in Me?
Yes, that's it.
How does it go?
The Man in Me.
Oh yeah, The Man in Me. Dude, that is so good. The Big Lebowski. Freaking A. Little Boy, have you watched that?
I have not.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Mine as well.
I just watched the Jesus Rolls movie.
It's okay.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I don't think it needed to be made.
I agree.
But I'm glad I watched it. But you got to watch. Nobody fucks with the Jesus.
Let me tell you something, man.
Dang.
You come flashing that piece right here, I take it away from you. Pull the fucking trigger till it goes click.
Let me tell you something, man.
Let me tell you something, Bantejo.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus, man. Nobody.
Liam and me, we're gonna fuck you up, man.
He's a pederast.
8-year-olds, dude.
8-year-olds. Oh my God. Let me tell you something, little boy. Nobody fucks with the Jesus, man. Nobody. Who are we listening to next week?
That's the one I was just dropped in as the one I was trying to figure out.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that the one during the dream sequence?
It's the dream sequence, yeah.
That was the dream sequence. I think the Dylan one is at the either beginning or end.
Yeah. I gotta watch it again. It's been a while, man.
Me too.
It's been a while, but just roll, Donnie. Market 0.
Market 0, Donnie.
Market 0.
That'll roll on Shabbos.
Sure as shit don't roll. I don't drive a car.
Oh my! You gotta watch
that movie.
You gotta watch it.
Shame about the Credence.
You gotta watch it. It's so many.
Shame about the Credence.
It's so much. He's a nihilist. There's so much stuff to quote.
We want some money, Lebowski. We want some money off of kids. The girl. You don't have the fucking girl.
We can go all night on this one.
Today's the 10th, man, dude.
Tomorrow's the 10th already.
Hey, dude. All right, here we go.
What the hell is that thing? What the hell's Fiverr?
Fiverr.
Fucking Google their ads. Anyway.
Maybe that's Wish.com Pfizer.
Click.
Everybody's favorite.
How many times? Fiver.
Oh, look at that!
Look, Bob Dylan. And
Perfect, bro.
Bob Dylan.
Perfect.
Where's my freaking notebook? I got to figure out who did this one.
Perfect. You're gonna see it's Bueller.
No, ironically, it was stop sharing. It was Metalheads Comics from Instagram.
Cool.
How's that for irony?
Awesome. Dude.
So
I'm excited about this one.
yeah, so it'd be fun. I
don't know nothing about this album except
It's-
for the title track. I mean, I got to look at the songs, but I do know that's a good song, Highway 61.
I gotta hear this out. I've never heard this album.
What the fuck did
I
do?
probably know some of the songs on it, but I don't think I've heard it. Like I think the one is Blonde on Blood and Blood on the Tracks. Those are the two that I really know a lot.
God told Abe, go kill me a son. Out on Highway 51. Oh, you got it.
This has Like a Rolling Stone on it.
Okay. Probably the rock song.
Yep, it's been quite a while since I listened to this, so I'll have to pop this in the.
Damn, you pulled that out quick, son.
I pulled out these.
You have all of them there?
I have all the remaining ones.
Oh,
on
okay,
the
okay,
wheel.
okay.
I pulled them out,
I was about to say, man, that was impressive.
with the exception of which ones don't I have?
Donut?
The ones I don't have in a physical copy are Eliminator and the White Album.
I do have the White Album.
You what?
I do have the White Album on CD.
I do too. I just have all my CDs in storage. I gotta go get my CDs, man. I think my daughter's getting into. We went to a great record store in Orlando, and it was CDs. It's called Park Avenue.
Park Avenue. That's the place I was telling you guys about.
Dude, that place is great.
That's where Savage Sword of Conan works.
Savage Sword of Conan
On
works?
Instagram.
Oh, I don't know who that. I don't know who that is.
He went with us that one day. We did a bunch of us met up at like Old Spider and all them
Comic Crawl.
comic
Oh,
crawl
really?
in Orlando.
Bro, my daughter took me there. It's a great store, man.
I went there once, man, and I fell in love with that place.
Great store. My daughter bought she bought the soundtrack to Rock. Well, I bought her the soundtrack to Rocky Horror, and I got some kitchen towels.
The what?
I bought. I'll tell. What did I buy? I bought kitchen towels because one kitchen towel had like a little hand like eating a cupcake, and it said the nibbler, right? And I go, dude, that's my wife, bro. That's my wife. She's the nibbler, dude. She's like a little rat in our kitchen. Just you see it, you hear the rat, and you hear the rat in the kitchen, and it's always my wife, right? And then I got one called Tidy Motherfucker. It's the tidy motherfucker, and that's me. I'm not a clean freak, but I'm a tidy, everything in its place kind of guy. So I go, that's me, and she's the nibbler. Perfect. So
awesome. Yeah, I've been wanting to go back there. I might see if I can't make it over there on my vacation.
Yeah, do a video.
It's a great store, man. She also bought a poster. Man, I feel like we bought something else. They have some really cool shirts too.
They got a great vinyl selection too.
Yes. Really, we were there about an hour, man. Excellent store. I wanted to buy so much. They have puzzles, like from really cool puzzles. Like they had the Number of the Beast puzzle.
Nice.
They had the Killers puzzle. They had the Yellow Submarine puzzle. Man, it's a really great shop, man. I can't wait to go back.
The Tight Nibbler.
The Tight Nibbler. I was surprised, man. She actually liked them, so that was cool. I was like, she ain't gonna like this shit, but I don't care. It's my taste. But
all right, so 2 weeks from now, Highway 61 revisited. Bob Dylan, great album, great artist, great singer-songwriter.
Yes. Looking forward to this one.
61.
Yeah.
Great one.
Bueller, happy trails, brother, man. Stay safe.
Yes.
For sure.
Take care of yourself, brother.
Enjoying the videos, the Instagram. Keep doing you, bro.
Happy trails to you.
Have you seen all the stuff, all the like the different places he's going? It's awesome.
Again. Yeah.
It's awesome.